Right, hi guys, this is James from Northeast Guys. I'm going to do a quick deck profile on Zamasu. I've been playing it recently, doing quite well with it recently, and the only deck it seems to struggle against is Baby. There is a couple of cards in here that if you do see in your opening hand and see before turn 2, turn 3, you've got a fighting chance. So I'll get straight into it. I'll talk just quickly about the leader. So basically, when it attacks, you look at the top 5, you search for a Goku Black or a Zamasu. The Awaken is quite unique, where your opponent has to have 3 energy, and then you can untap 1 and draw and flip it over. On the flip side, the same ability, the same auto for searching, and also it has a second auto which it loses 5k when it swings to the leader, which is kind of what you want, because you kind of want to leave your opponent at like 4 life max. You don't want them going below that. If they take their life below that, then it sort of works in your favour anyway, because they forget that you actually can swing with stuff. So it's sort of a double-edged sword. But leaving them on 5 is optimum, because you'll see the hand with the big boss card. You'll charge 2, you're going to take 4, but you're going to take that life anyway. Its first activate main is obviously the alternative win con. If your opponent has 8 energy, you just take 4 life and bottom deck them. Simple as. A lot of people I've played against do not like me doing that against them. And I sometimes even meme and just wait a turn, just because if you feel as if you're safe, you just can. Which annoys them even more. And its second activate main is to tap 1, and you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and you can just send it back to the owner's hand. Again, a lot of people forget that's even an ability this leader has, but it is super strong. So, for the searchable targets of Goku Black and Zamasu, I play 3 of the Unforeseen Darkness. If the card is stupid in this deck. I play 4 of the Blockers. One of the only sort of Zamasus I play bar than the Gate and the Big Drop is this actual free blocker. The way that you essentially win is by playing this Goku Black on turn 3. You get yourself an energy from the top of your deck inactive. And your opponent's next turn, you reveal the top card. It's a battle card to charge it. If it's an extra, you draw. Now obviously you want them to hit a battle card, because you want to ramp them as much as possible. And then this is the 10k hitter if needs be. But also it's barrier, so it's very hard to get rid of. The other free card that we play is the Countdown to Destruction. I play 4 of them. If your leader card is Zamasu or Goku Black, and you have 5 or more energy, then I think you can only play it once per turn. But you get to draw from it as well. So your union targets are these 2. When you get a 5 energy, if you have multiple, you can sort of bait out the counter plays, the denials that they're no doubt going to be trying to hold, and you just play these. And hopefully from turn 3, you've kept these on the field. So obviously it's barrier, and that would be your Union Fusion, but this is like the perfect secondary option. And obviously, yeah, that's for free. And it's also a blocker, which is, if you're getting out aggro and you don't think you're going to get there, you're going to have to think of another way to win. They just help your life. Against a lot of the cards that are kind of like can hit you harder these days, that don't have barrier, the perfect way to clear them off the board, if you don't want to just give them it back, is to play the Replicator Goku Black. But basically when you play it, the first part you're never really going to have, because you'd rather play this over this, because this gives them another energy as well, if they already have 2 or less, I believe. But you're never going to have that. I've never once pulled that off, but what it does do is chooses an opponent's battle card and it charges it for them. I've done that with numerous secret rares people have played on us, where they bring out a secret rare, you champer it, it's in rest, it's dead for the turn, next turn you play this, you charge it for them for the sake of their life. For the multis and multi-purpose as well, is the Zamasu Negate. It becomes a 2-drop if your leader has Goku Black or Zamasu. It's indestructible, so it'll stay there for a while unless you're playing against red, because it's one of the only decks that I've got to be smarter with, is if they play After Image, or Is That All You Got, or any of the minusing cards, because that will get rid of the card. But also, what I like doing with this is using this Aegis. So button's gone, so don't play button. Well, it's not gone yet, but it will be. So I don't see a need for it, but the next best thing, other than Senzu, to get your energy back is Aegis. And obviously when it gets attacked, or when you get attacked in the defense step, you can ditch a blue and yellow card or a multi-card, and untap 2 of your energy. And some of the nice combos I like doing is to have 2 of these on field. And if it gets to the clutch, because this deck always has that clutch moment at the end where it's like, right, you're on 7 energy, I'm on 1 life. You know, it's win now for you, or I'm going to win for certain next turn. There's so many times this deck just has that. But if you have a couple of these on field and a lot of cards, or even, you know, your negates, all that type of stuff, and you can afford, or if you think you can afford to like kind of combo out one of the attacks, ditch, that's 4 energy back. And then you've got access to your negates, you've got access to more of these. Yeah, 10k combo pieces, because you just use the Aegis, and if needs be, combo it off. And then the bigger card, obviously, of the deck, the card that you want to play by basically winning them, ramping them to 8 from 6 to 8, is this card. So it comes out for 4 blue and 2 yellow. And when you play it with Union, which is a bummer because you can get to 8 energy quite easily with this deck, so it's probably more balanced that they didn't just make it hard cast it and have the same effect. But essentially, you look at your opponent's hand, you choose 2 cards from it, and you put in the energy in rest mode, and that's sort of how this deck wins 9 times out of 10. You'll get them to 6 pretty easily. With the use of the 3-drop, Gogu Black, and a couple of uses of the 4-drops, and you will get them from 6 to 8 in 1 turn and take the 4 life. And that's 26 cards that's searchable in this deck, and all of it comes in very useful. The non-searchable cards are the blue-yellow checkland cards. You're running multicolour, so you might as well. And then because Gogu Black's ability is to take the top card of your deck and charge it, if you hit one of these and you've already got a multi-charge, you're laughing. It's perfect. The card that I was debated for ages whether or not to play is the 4-drop Hellas, because I think there's been 3 times where, again, used that Gogu Black, and that's the only card in the deck you really don't want to see charged. Ideally, you want a multi, well, like Beerus, or a blue card. But when you see this off that Goku effect, it slows you down so much. But the positives of it is that it is a pretty awesome super combo for gods. You ditch one, you draw 2. If it was a 0 cost combo with a 10k, it'd be even more broken. But because this deck, I don't really mind going down to 4 life. I've got access to it pretty early. I'll take a few hits to gain hand. And lastly, I play 3 Jammers. 1, I don't mind charging one if needs be. 2, if you do come across a deck that plays a big boss card, that'll get past it. It's just such a stupid card, but it's sick. So that's just them, and then we have the extras. So I play 2 Plan of Destruction. Again, it's easy ramp as long as you and your opponent have 7 energy between you, which by turn 4, turn 3, turn 4 usually I'm going to have that. And basically what you do is you combo with it, you lead against 10k, and then as long as you have the energy requirement, it becomes in your energy in rest mode. So it's a very nice defensive or offensive card. 4 Senzus, of course. I'm going to run some blue. I want to manipulate my energy as much as possible. Don't need to really say much about that. Blue leader, so dimension magic. Of course, again, no need to say otherwise. Just a bit of extra yellow, I play the Nimbus, and that's against a heavier aggro matchup where they can flood the board early on, and I'll probably take a few hits, but if not, if I'm not in a safe position, then Nimbus saves the day. And also, if they're daft enough to swing with leader still, especially if they don't know that I play Nimbus, then it can shut their board down, especially if they played the board first, because it'll give access to that 4-drop Goku Black, which will just charge any of the cards I've just played. And lastly, one Mafuba, mainly for baby, or just if I don't have any other negate in hand, Mafuba's going to do it for us. And that's the main deck. Moving on to the sideboard, I do play 2 Mass Saints, mainly for the clone tokens, or mainly for Hatchiak. Yeah, it does what it does. And I play 2 Tau, because this deck really does not like hand control. If you come up against a hand control deck, good luck. It does not like it. It doesn't draw enough to consistently keep hand size over your opponent, or you always end up keeping things in your hand that you want, so you don't really want to drop them, but this helps deterrent that a little bit. I play a 3rd Goku Black in the side. Again, if people are going to flood the board, take the battle cards from them. And then again for aggro, I play a small mass replication for the tokens for your blockers. So with that comes 2 Terrascythes, which you play that with the field card, you get yourself 3 blockers. And then I play just the 1, because it's essentially like having a 3rd mass replication. Because essentially you play it, you drop a card, and you get to search that from your deck and play it. I don't really tend to use the blocker build anymore, but I like having the comfort that I can use it. I do also play 1 extra Mafuba, again for baby. You really want to see that before turn 3. It can help a lot with the Zamasu negate. Basically how it would go would be Zamasu negate using 2 energy. They swing again, you ditch your card to get your 2 back, and you could recycle that process if you're getting comfortable enough with like taking what life and when. And then if they bring out the big guy to go all in, that's when Mafuba. 1 UI, I'd like 2, but I only own 1, so I'm only going to play 1, and I'm not forking out for another one. I play the secret rare. 1, it's searchable. 2, if I don't think that I'm going to win the game by the alternative win con, that's a secondary option. And then for any of the Goku Blacks, if I'm playing red decks, anything with Vegeta the Cruel, or any of the new counter players essentially, or Turbos, I play 1 of each, Absolute Release Ball and Desperate Measures. It can save you, especially if you just don't want them to not let you play stuff. That's it. It was just a nice quick one. If anyone tries it, please let us know how it went. Please consider subscribing. Thanks.